Okay, it's recording, and I'd like to say hi to all you wonderful independent thinkers.
Mhm.
And I have a guest today. So, as you notice, I'm pointing at a picture and not us.
Mhm.
So, what do you have to say, guest, today? What do you have to talk about for about 5 minutes?
Well, let's give a brief sighting on social structure. Just
Okay.
something real small. Actually, it's almost comical, right? Because the majority of society right now is created by someone else's ideals, thoughts, ways. They're not ours. We just land into it. I mean, we fall into it, and hopefully some of us wind up learning or and obeying the rules of that period of time frame that we live in. But the strangeness of it is the acceptance of everything that goes on without you even knowing. You're not even aware of it at the time. You don't know why you have to obey certain things or do certain things. Uh, you just know that it's being imposed on you. You don't know why, and you don't know who's doing it. Like, let's say taxes. What's the total purpose of taxes? Some of these people say pay your fair share, but what is that exactly? I mean, you come here with nothing. You breathe in air, you're drinking water, and all of a sudden you got to pay your fair share to some entities that you don't know nothing about. Okay, and plus you don't even know why. And most people they just get along with it. They'll use many excuses. One of many is, oh, that's the way it is, or that's the way the world goes. And usually I tell people uh, that no, it's not the world; it's the people that's in the world. So now, as far as piecing the puzzle together, as far as society, uh, man, you got to start from the primordial rules of it. But right now, we don't have the time for that. So I will have to start with the structure of what we're dealing with in the year 2000, 2020. We're going to have a whole lot of new rules. They're setting up for this global society, which I don't really see that's working out too good for anybody. The other thing is they keep coming up with all these strange ideas to keep us distracted from the real things. Like, one, why are we paying other people to hurt us? Why do we pay other people to make rules for us? That's really not even good for us. For one thing, no matter what they say and do, no matter how radical it sounds, or it might be even a good idea. Guess what? It never works. Why? They sabotage their own stuff. It's, and what gets me the most, what's the biggest joke of mostly everything, is that how come people forget the events that's be going on that's happening to them, right? I mean, what everybody we go to sleep and we wake up the next day to proceed with the same thing we did the day before just to pay off our bills and everything else instead of us coming together saying, you know what, something is wrong and that the majority of us need to get together and fix this stuff. We shouldn't be leaving it up to anybody else but ourselves. And if enough of us come together, maybe this could happen. But it has to be an awakening. It has to be something that people actually want because got a lot of zombies out here. TV, radio, media, all this information is over. It's what you call overflow of junk information, overwhelming. It's meant to cause confusion anyway. As far as some people say, oh, it's part of society. No, it's part of trickery. If you make it simple, right? So I'm hoping people just, well, actually, hope is a radish. I would like for people just to wake up and look at their surroundings and start asking themselves basic questions like, why? You know, why is we doing this? Why do we have to do this? Who told us to do this? And why are we being forced to do it? And with that being said, I hope that give a lot of people out there something to think about.
I like that.
Okay.
All righty. Well, as always, and thank you for that,
Yes, Mr. X.
Mr. X.
Yes.
As always, independent thinkers, take care and be aware to be clear of what you see and what you hear.
Yeah.
All righty.